Hi, so I'm going to talk about my favorite section of my lesson plan. So I'd say that my favorite section of my lesson plan was the section where we introduced this book called Then and Now. So this was one of the materials that we picked out in the library, and it was a resource that I definitely wanted to use for our lesson plan just because its size is a large material, so it's a large book. And so I think the visuals would have been really beneficial for young kids. It'd get them engaged and things like that. So this was a book that kind of would spark the interest and the curiosity of kind of how the past and the present kind of come together and make comparisons about those two. So I found this section to be very interesting. Um, like I said, I really enjoyed that book. So, in the book, there was a section where there was a police officer from a long time ago, and the picture was obviously in black and white because it's a photograph from a couple, 100 years ago or so. And so, it kind of compared how that's different to a police officer's car nowadays. And so I found that to be very interesting because it would help students kind of make questions or ask questions and really dig into the content on a deeper level than just, oh, this is a police officer, this is what he does. Oh, well, now we're talking about the past and how it's changed and how their job has changed and how they use different tools than they did back in the day. They didn't have radios, they didn't have cars. So how was their job different? They had whistles, they had horses. So I found that to be an engaging part. There was also a section in here about the ambulance. So we talked about that too, how the ambulance was pulled by horses instead of having like a car. Um, and so I think it would spark a lot of conversations about how that would be different. I mean, nowadays, ambulances have sirens, and back in the day, they didn't have those type of things, and so it was just a cool section to kind of spark that interest and introduce kind of the past and intertwine it with the present. So um, I really enjoyed that section in that book. I think it would have been the visuals and just the different ideas would be engaging for students, especially just because it's different from what they have nowadays. There's even like they only had radios and they were reading newspapers, and that's different behavior than they're used to. Maybe nowadays, people are on their phones or um, they watch TV or whatever. So I think this section was really cool for me because it kind of introduced those ideas.